What's up guys, and today we're here at Prestasi, the top of the range breeding facility in Indonesia. I'm going to be showing you some never seen before behind the scenes footage of this absolutely brilliant facility. Come with me. Here at Prestasi they breed all of the tree monitors. We're going to show you their outstanding facility a little bit later on. For now, take a look at this lemon line Razingeri. So this is the yellow tree monitor, and this is the most yellow tree monitor that I think I've ever seen before. So here on the farm, they're working on a huge breeding project to breed these guys. I've seen the new facility they're building, the new cages they're building. It's absolutely brilliant. So a thing about the frilled dragon is in the wild, they're now starting to face threat. A lot of their habitat has been lost due to palm oil plantation. So soon enough, it wouldn't surprise me if the frilled dragon ends up becoming CITES. But they're absolutely beautiful animals, and the work they're doing here on the farm to aid in the conservation status of this species it's brilliant. Just look, there's no lizard like it. So definitely one of my favourite species of lizard. So that sound that you're hearing is the local mosque, as it is praying time. So Jakarta, where we are, is largely Muslim. And then here is one of the captive bred rearing facilities. There is the chief monitor wrangler, Chris Applin.
Hi Liam.
Hello Chris. So
yeah, as you were just saying, this is the rear up section for some of our captive bred monitor lizards. So yeah, this is where we raise them up. We usually raise them up in here for about 2 months. Currently this hasn't got any UV in it, so we raise them up here for a couple of months and put them outside. Soon we will be kitting this out fully with UV lighting. It's a bit easier to sort of see what's going on with them, make sure they're feeding everything on the inside. This is a beautiful captive bred Prestasi we got here.
nice. So Chris, you actually you live out here, don't you?
That's right, yeah. So I relocated from England to Indonesia to live the dream of breeding monitor lizards and all the other wonderful things we got here. And yeah, over the last year we've been breeding stuff and developing the cages to make the best systems we can for mainly the monitors at the moment, and then we'll be expanding into some of the other projects and pythons.
Nice. So you can see that you've started putting misting systems in as well. That's a step above the rest out here in
yeah,
Indonesia.
so when this is full, there's quite a lot of lizards in here, and I've just got a little hand sprayer down there, so it can take me a good 2 hours to go through and spray everything correctly. So yeah, I've got them to install a misting system. We're just putting that in now, so it's going to make it a lot easier for me.
Nice. So this is the Varanus similis. We bought some of these in earlier this year, and we're going to be bringing more. So this is an adult. It's a nice dwarf species, nice manageable size. They're stunning. They're like the Dalmatian of monitors. So this here is a new locality of the Varanus timorensis, the Timor monitor. This is something that Chris is here working on breeding and getting out there, and we will be obviously looking at bringing these in. Another nice dwarf species, get to a similar size to the similis that we've shown you, just a little bit smaller. So Chris, one thing that I'm impressed with here at the farm is how big the enclosures are, and also the dense vegetation and the natural aspect you give off to the enclosures. Can you tell me a bit more about this enclosure?
Yeah, so this is for a pair of Jaipura salvadori. They're one of the rarest localities. They've got really pretty big yellow spots on them. But yeah, we're lucky here in Indonesia. We've got lots of space and the plants grow really well over here. So we're able to get well-established plants that not even the salvadori ruin. So yeah, I haven't actually measured this cage, but as you can see on the video, it's incredibly large.
So this is the Boland's Python breeding program that they've got here. Now at the farm, they've managed to successfully breed the Bolands multiple times. So they're producing true captive bred babies, and as a lot of you know, breeding Bolands is not easy. Now the reason that Prestasi are so successful is because Bolands are actually found on the side of the mountain, and Prestasi, the farm, is based on the side of a mountain, so the actual climate here is very similar to their natural habitat. Here's an insider's look at how they're keeping the Bolands here. Just look at how incredible the enclosures are. Nice fresh vegetation. Down here in the right hand corner, they've got a sunken nest box, which is where the Bolands are laying. And then over here in this back left corner, there's a hole in the wall. So now what the farm have is they have this outdoor enclosure, which is half exposed to the sunlight. So they've got a basking platform, half of it's sheltered. And then if that's still too much and the Bolands decide they want to go elsewhere, they go through the hole in the wall, and back there they've got a nice indoor enclosure. So this here is a possible new species. So it's thought to be a black Varanus indicus. Now, here at the farm, they're hoping to prove whether this is a morph or a new species by obviously putting it into their breeding program. Essentially, what you're seeing is almost like a mini black dragon. This would be something that I know a lot of people would be interested in the UK. So here I've got the Varanus dorianus, which is the blue-tail monitor. Now, there's different localities of this species, and in the UK, one of the species we're used to is Jayapura. This is actually Jayapura, but the Jayapura we usually get in the UK is grey-backed. So this is a new form of the Jayapura called the orange pastel. Just look at how incredible the colours are on this animal. So here at the farm, they're always trying to improve how they breed stuff, which we're going to delve into because they do something really special here. Nowhere else is doing. We don't even do it back at home most of the time. But this is their indoor tree monitor breeding facility. There are 75 cages here. Every cage is full. You've got everything from a crei to bomi to prasinus. Let's take a look. So the reason that the farm has an indoor facility and they've invested so much money into it is because the outdoor enclosures that we showed you earlier, the animals will only cycle to the natural weather, the season, whereas inside this facility, Chris can cycle the females to breed up to 4 times in a year. So we're going from just 1 clutch outside to potentially 4 clutches per female inside. So by having this facility, they can really do incredible things with the breeding of these monitors. This allows Chris to selectively breed what he breeds for the best genetic biodiversity. So like you saw earlier with the Racingeri we showed, it is the most yellow Racingeri you've probably ever seen. But it allows them, so whereas someone might have 4 bomi, they can only breed those 4 bomi. Here they've got around 40 bomi, allowing them to selectively breed to bring out the best traits in the animals. So this is the incubator room at the farm. Chris is here to tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, so this is just one of the small incubator rooms. We've got a few others dotted around. Pretty low at the moment, considering it's the breeding season, so we're expecting eggs in the next couple of months. But we have got a few clutches in here, lots of tree monitors in there, some salvators, and then pretty special with some Merauke Salvador eggs. So I'll just give you a quick look at them. So nice 8 pearly whites in there. Long time to wait till we get to see some babies, but they'd be fantastic. They're a smaller locality of the Salvadori, so a bit more manageable in captivity.
Yeah, but I think we're putting our name on them. So here on the farm, they also have a red-eyed croc skink breeding facility, and it is this. As you can see, they've got 500 red-eyed crocodile skinks in here. So at the farm, they don't just breed your high-end monitors that we've been showing you, they do also breed the basic, more common Indonesian species. Now, come and take a look at some of these captive bred babies. So the thing with the captive bred babies is they're obviously stronger and they travel better, which means when we bring these guys in, you're going to get nice, healthy, established animals. The selection of blue-tongued skinks that they have here is amazing. They've got loads of localities. Come and take a look. So on the end here we've got the Halmahera, and next to it the Xanthic Halmahera, which in my opinion, and probably all of yours, is quite a lot nicer than the standard. And then coming over to the real special one, this is the Key Island. Just look at the coloration and the banding on this skink. This is a fairly new one to export. Then we've got Jayapura locality. And over here we've got the Tanimbar locality. The Tanimbar almost looks slightly patternless, but it's just the locality. So here at Prestasi, they don't just breed the endemic reptiles, they also breed panther chameleons. So they've got a large scale panther chameleon breeding facility. It is outdoors, and I don't know if it's the outdoors that does it, but these are some of the most colourful chameleons I've ever seen. The ones we get back at home in captivity, they never seem to be this bright. As I mentioned, it might be the natural UV exposure, but here on the farm, these guys are doing phenomenal, and they're breeding great. I mean, it's really nice to see these outside enclosures, natural, with the natural setting. So this monitor here is a pretty special monitor. Now to you, this might look like a green tree monitor. However, this is in fact Varanus macraei, the blue tree monitor, in a super rare green form. Now, Prestasi are working on trying to breed out this to get to the bottom of, if you breed this green macraei, will the young come out green? This is going to be a super interesting product, and I'm hoping that we can be the first in the UK to bring in some green macraei babies. So this is Varanus dorianus. It's pretty much an adult female. They get a bit bigger than this. So this is Sorong locality. Look at that really nice blue tail, yellow speckling. Now obviously these on the farm, they're not hand reared at this size, which is why we're holding it like this. We're just stopping the head from turning around and biting us. It's no harm to the animal, and I'm not holding tight. It's just purely for safety, because we don't want to get bitten by something like this. Yeah, just look at how amazing this animal is. So as I mentioned earlier, they do something pretty special here at the farm with their breeding. So they actually scan the females to figure out when they're most fertile and the best time to pair them is. Now, can you tell us a bit more, Chris?
Yeah, so because we have so many monitors here, it's almost impossible to just by sight see when things are cycling. Some people at home may just notice their female getting a bit larger and know when to cycle. But as we've got so many monitors here, I've been sort of training on the ultrasound machine. So what it enables us to do is track follicle growth. So all that sort of means is I can introduce the male at the correct time to get most viable eggs and hopefully not a load of slugs. I'll just show you on here some follicles from the Salvadori female. I don't know how well they'll come up on camera. But yeah, I've been tracking the follicle size, and then when it gets to a certain size, I'm able to put the male in and get most fertility.
So this is the Marut locality Salvadori crop monitor. So this is actually the male from the clutch we showed you earlier. So these are believed to be a slightly smaller locality. This male has produced a clutch and he's about 5 foot. This is like the pinnacle of monitor keeping in terms of what we can get in the hobby, really. Not many people can house these, but they're outstanding animals. But you have to treat them with utmost respect, because they do have the worst monitor bite. So this is the Lamphanotus breeding room, also known as the Borneo earless monitor. Now these are super rare and a dream for many keepers. Absolutely amazing animals. Now the farm here is the only farm in Indonesia that's allowed to export these animals. The reason for that is because they legally got their founding stock many years ago. So yeah, they seem to be breeding these pretty frequently. Every year they're getting clutches. Everything you see online makes you believe these guys are massive, but this is an adult. So obviously one of the key parts to a successful breeding farm is you've got to be able to provide your animals with the necessary food. So on the farm, this room here is their cockroach breeding section, and there's absolutely millions of them across here. Now, cockroaches aren't the only feeder they breed here. They breed all their own rodents, and they breed also all their own crickets. Right, so this one is Varanus UNI, the tricolour monitor. If you take a close look, you can see exactly why it's called the tricolour monitor. It's almost like 3 monitors pieced together. So you've got the black upper half, the yellow midsection, and the bright electric blue tail. Now at this farm, they've got the largest group of these animals for breeding purposes. And a fun fact about these is the teeth on these are very similar to Salvadori. So they're a monitor you don't want to get bitten by. Because if you know anything about the croc monitors, the teeth are insane. But yeah, this is just one of the species that we're going to be bringing in this year to Viperia. Beautiful animals. So this is the Key Island Indicus locality. Super high yellow. So we actually we had some of these at the start of the year, and they flew out. So we're gonna be bringing a lot more in, because it's an incredible animal. This is an adult female. So as you can see, they're a nice manageable size monitor. And there's just something in the hobby about yellow animals. People go absolutely crazy for a yellow animal, and I mean, you can see why. Just look at this. Varanus melinus, the quince monitor. Now, I believe this is a massively underrated species in the UK. So, in the UK, when they come in as young, the young are quite boring, admittedly. And the reason they're underrated is because people don't get to see many adults. So this is an adult female melinus. Now just look at the yellows on this animal. It's absolutely insane. We do have one of these left in the shop currently, and we are going to be bringing some more in for you guys to enjoy, because I think once you realise how nice the adults are, you're all going to want them. Beautiful animal.